The Blake Mouton Grid. When you recruit a new team member, what is your priority? Is it to focus on tasks by explaining the first year's objectives to them? Or do you spend time understanding their strengths and interests so you can give them tasks that they'll enjoy? No one leadership style is best for all situations, but it's useful to understand what your natural approach is, so you can develop skills that you may be missing. It's unwise to neglect either tasks or people, but equally, a compromise between the two approaches will likely result in only average team performance, because you neither meet people's needs nor inspire excellent performance. In this lecture, we look at the Blake Mouton Grid, a popular framework for thinking about a leader's task versus person orientation. What is the Blake Mouton Grid? The Blake Mouton Grid plots a manager's or leader's degree of task-centeredness versus their person-centeredness, and identifies 5 different combinations of the two and the leadership styles they produce. It's also known as the Managerial Grid or Leadership Grid, and was developed in the early 1960s by management theorists Robert Blake and Jane Mouton. The model is based on 2 behavioral dimensions. Concern for people. This is the degree to which a leader considers team members' needs, interests, and areas of personal development when deciding how best to accomplish a task. And concern for results. This is the degree to which a leader emphasizes concrete objectives, organizational efficiency, and high productivity when deciding how best to accomplish a task. Blake and Mouton defined 5 leadership styles based on these, as illustrated in the diagram. Let's take a look at the 5 leadership styles in detail. 1. Impoverished management. Low results, low people. The impoverished or indifferent manager is mostly ineffective. With a low regard for creating systems that get the job done, and with little interest in creating a satisfying or motivating team environment, this manager's results are inevitably disorganization, dissatisfaction, and disharmony. 2. Produce or perish management. High results, low people. Also known as authoritarian or authority compliance managers, people in this category believe that their team members are simply a means to an end. The team's needs are always secondary to its productivity. This type of manager is autocratic, has strict work rules, policies, and procedures, and can view punishment as an effective way of motivating team members. This approach can drive impressive production results at first, but low team morale and motivation will ultimately affect people's performance, and this type of leader will struggle to retain high performers. They probably adhere to the Theory X approach to motivation, which assumes that employees are naturally unmotivated and dislike working. A manager who believes people are self-motivated and happy to work is said to follow Theory Y. 3. Middle-of-the-road management. Medium results and medium people. A middle-of-the-road or status quo manager tries to balance results and people, but this strategy is not as effective as it may sound. Through continual compromise, they fail to inspire high performance, and also fail to meet people's needs fully. The result is that their team will likely deliver only mediocre performance. 4. Country club management. High people, low results. The country club or accommodating style of manager is mostly concerned about their team members' needs and feelings. They assume that, as long as their people are happy and secure, they'll work hard. What tends to be the result is a work environment that is very relaxed and fun, but where productivity suffers because there is a lack of direction and control. 5. Team management. High production, high people. According to the Blake Mouton model, team management is the most effective leadership style. It reflects a leader who is passionate about their work and who does the best they can for the people they work with. Team, or sound managers, commit to their organization's goals and missions, motivate the people who report to them, and work hard to get people to stretch themselves to deliver great results. But at the same time, they are inspiring figures who look after their teams. Someone led by a team manager feels respected and empowered and is committed to achieving their goals. Team managers prioritize both the organization's production needs and their people's needs. They do this by making sure that their team members understand the organization's purpose and by involving them in determining production needs. When people are committed to and have a stake in the organization's success, their needs and production needs coincide. This creates an environment based on trust and respect, which leads to high satisfaction, motivation, and excellent results. Team managers likely adopt the theory why approach to motivation, as we mentioned above. Blake and his colleagues added 2 more leadership styles after Mouton's death in 1987, although neither appears on the grid itself for the reasons explained below. Paternalistic management. A paternalistic manager will jump between the country club and produce or perish styles. This type of leader can be supportive and encouraging, but will also guard their own position, and paternalistic managers don't appreciate anyone questioning the way they think. Opportunistic management. This doesn't appear on the grid because this style can show up anywhere within it. Opportunistic managers place their own needs first, shifting around the grid to adopt whichever style will benefit them. They will manipulate and take advantage of others to get what they want. Applying the Blake Mouton Grid. It is important to understand your management or leadership style so that you can then identify ways of reaching the target position of team manager. Step 1. Identify your managerial style. List 5 or 6 recent situations where you were the leader. For each situation, place yourself on the grid according to where you believe you fit. Use our self-assessment leadership quiz to help you spot your traits. Step 2. Identify areas where you can improve and develop your leadership skills. Look at your current approach. Are you settling for middle of the road because it's easier than reaching for more? Think about whether your style suits the situation you are in. If you feel that you are too task-oriented, then you can try to involve your team members in creative problem-solving, improve how you communicate with them, or work on your mentoring skills. Or if you tend to focus too much on people, it may mean becoming clearer about scheduling and monitoring project progress, or improving your decision-making. Continually monitor your performance and watch for situations where you slip back into bad old habits. Step 3. Put the grid in context. The team management style is often the most effective approach, but there are situations that call for more attention to one area than the other. For example, if your company is in the middle of a merger or some other significant change, then it can be acceptable to place a higher emphasis on people than on production, to guide them and reassure them through a potentially difficult time. Likewise, when faced with an emergency, an economic hardship, or a physical risk, concerns about people may be put to one side, for the short term at least, to achieve good results and efficiency. What are the disadvantages of the Blake Mouton Grid? Theories of leadership have moved on a certain amount since Blake and Mouton proposed their model half a century ago. In particular, the context in which leadership occurs is seen as an important driver of leadership style. And in many situations, the team manager as an ideal has shifted towards the transformational leader. So, use the managerial grid as a helpful model for identifying your basic leadership style, but don't treat it as an eternal truth.